I'd like to call the Board of Education meeting to order. Would you please stand for a pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Once you get it. For the record, this is a public meeting of the Bayonne Board of Education. It is 7:43 p.m., the third day of June. We're convening in the Anna J. Herbert Meeting Room. The presiding officer is Joseph Broderick, President of the Bayonne Board of Education. Those in attendance include Dr. Michael A. Wanko, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Kenneth Kopaz, Assistant Superintendent for Personnel, Dr. Gary Maida, Board Secretary, Mr. Thomas Fagu, Jr., Acting School Business Administrator, Dr. Dennis Degnan, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and Mr. Mitchell Pasquale, Esquire, our Board Counsel. The meeting is open to the public. I will take a roll call. Trustee Alonso is here. Trustee Casillas.
Here.
Trustee Cruden.
Here.
Trustee Finnerty.
Here.
Trustee Munoz.
Here.
Trustee Ryan.
Here.
Trustee Bellato.
Here.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Here.
And our president is also here. He is conducting some business in the other room. I will read a statement by the presiding officer. For the record, adequate written advance notice of at least 48 hours giving the time, date, and location of this meeting with the agenda was provided as follows. Notice was prominently posted in City Hall, 630 Avenue C, on the bulletin board, reserved for such announcements of the Board of Education. The Board Secretary sent such notice to the Jersey Journal and Community News, and notice was filed with the Municipal Clerk of the City of Bayonne, Mr. Robert F. Sloan. At this time, I'd like to just take care of one item of business, approval of minutes, acceptance of communications, which are listed, and everything we have is listed on our bulletin board. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee Velarde?
Yes.
And a second by Trustee
Munoz. I
Munoz.
second.
So I have a motion and a second. On that motion and second, at this time, Trustee Alonso is absent, but Trustee Casillas?
Yes.
Trustee Cruden?
Yes.
Trustee Finnerty?
Yes.
Trustee Munoz?
Yes.
Trustee Ryan?
Yes.
Trustee Bellato?
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck?
Yes.
And Mr. Broderick is absent for the vote. Okay. Next order of business is we have a series of commendations I'd like to read into the record. Starting with, whereas the Bayonne Board of Education wishes to reaffirm its commitment to provide every student with a world-class STEM education, whereas the Bayonne Board of Education encourages and supports its students to utilize said education to compete in STEM-based competitions, whereas numerous students competed in the R.W.J. Barnabas Health STEM Showcase, Rutgers Junior Science and Humanities Symposium, and the Laboratory Robotics Interest Group, Montclair State University Science Fair, representing the Bayonne School District in various categories, whereas the following students earned medals and special awards for their authentic research projects. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of Education wishes to recognize the outstanding achievements of this talented group of students and their mentors. Furthermore, the Board of Education congratulates them and their well-deserved medals and special awards. And as I read your names, would you all please come up, including our Director of Science, Tara Degnan, is also here. So we'll start with some of the names. Joseph Arrigio, Arsh Banerjee. Come on up, folks. Aram Chandre, Mark Angelo Gungan, Tashu Gupta, Angelina Ignaco, Martina Ishak, Francis Labuti, Alex Myers, Sanid Shadid, Natalia Orga, Amy Wamba, Mark Youssef, Pavlev Youssef, Danielle Zimny, Kishkera Ardwal, Liliana Cordero, Matthew Costanzo, Sophie Engdahl, Sarah Francis, Joseph Wande, Jacina Terro, Elena Notka, and Isaac Young. And this is and this commendation is by the committee of the whole. So students, jump right in. Jump right in there. And
you guys,
second line of students, go behind the guys that are sitting down.
I just want to introduce our teachers, our mentors who are here. Mrs. De Benedictis, Mrs. Aloya. Congratulations. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, everybody.
Every year we see you. I keep trying.
Congratulations. Good
This
job.
is my mentor.
Great job.
I've been really carrying the lion's share.
Great job.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you very much for this. Congratulations, you guys. Outstanding.
Promise it's coming when I retire.
Good job, guys.
Great job. Just stand back there.
Good job, girls. Guys, good job. No, it's just everyone tell me, move this, can you do this? Like, you don't stop telling me what to do. Thank you. So the healthcare, does he look like John? Right, is it me or? Oh.
Next up, whereas social studies student Natalie Ramos has brought honor and distinction to Nicholas Oresco Community School and the entire community by having reached the finals in the New Jersey National History Day. Whereas social studies student Natalie Ramos has brought honor and distinction to Nicholas Oresco School and to the entire community by winning awards at the New Jersey National History Day Finals and for representing New Jersey in the National History Day Finals at the University of Maryland, College Park. Whereas social studies student Natalie Ramos went on and beyond by spending countless hours perfecting her project in preparation of the National History Day Finals. Whereas the Board of Education wishes to recognize the outstanding achievements of social studies student Natalie Ramos. Whereas the Board of Education wishes to recognize Natalie's social study teacher, Miss Gina Nowak, for her intelligence, her hard work, and for her guidance, as she provided to Miss Ramos, and for the honor and distinction of her own work has brought to Nicholas Oresco Community School and the entire community. Be it hereby resolved that this Board of Education wishes its heartfelt congratulations to social studies student Natalie Ramos and to her social studies teacher, Mrs. Gina Nowak, and this is Committee of the Whole.
Congratulations. You sit here and enjoy.
The big check.
Congratulations. Hi, congratulations. You want to sit here and relax.
Next up, whereas the Bayonne Board of Education is pleased to recognize teachers who have provided exemplary service during the past school year, be it resolved that the following teachers have been selected by their peers as Teacher of the Year for the 2018-19 school year: Alicia Bryant Rosario, Allison James, Megan Campbell, Matthew Allen, Nicole Suvek, Barbara McCann, Ali Bratoli, Brian Hampton, Megan Ashley, Gina Setti, Kimberly Weimer, and John McGuckin Sr. Be it further resolved that this Board of Education hereby authorizes Dr. Michael A. Wanko, Superintendent of Schools, to submit this resolution on behalf of the Board to the Hudson County Superintendent of Schools. This was by the Committee of the Whole. All of these teachers were honored 2 Fridays ago, I believe, at a ceremony for the district. So, once again, thank you to those teachers. I have, for one of our staff members, whereas social studies teacher, Mr. John Bransfield III, Ph.D., has brought honor and distinction to Bayonne High School and the entire community by being honored as one of New Jersey National History Day's Teacher of the Year in the senior division. Whereas Dr. John has sent at least one student to the finals of the National History Day competition in 3 of the last 5 years. Whereas John will be honored at the finals of National History Day at the University of Maryland in College Park in June. Whereas John will also compete for the Hannah E. McGregor Teacher of the Year History Teacher Awards at the finals of the National History Day at the University of Maryland. This award is presented to teachers that demonstrate a commitment to engaging students in historical learning through innovative use of primary sources, implementation of active learning strategy to foster historical thinking skills, and participation in the National History Day contest. Whereas the Board of Education wishes to recognize the outstanding achievements of Dr. John Bransfield, Ph.D., be it further resolved that this Board of Education wishes its heartfelt congratulations, and this is also by the Committee of the Whole. We're sorry that Dr. John couldn't be with us tonight, though, but we'd like to commend him. And I'll save the best for last. Whereas head coach Patricia Longo has brought honor and distinction to Bayonne High School and the community by attaining her 500th win as head coach of Bayonne High School's boys volleyball team. Whereas head coach Patricia Longo obtained this win on April 18th against Memorial High School. Whereas head coach Patricia Longo has brought honor and distinction to Bayonne High School and the community during her illustrious tenure as head coach of Bayonne High School boys volleyball team for the past 29 years. Whereas head coach Patricia Longo has guided the Bayonne High School boys volleyball team this spring 2019 season with her all-around commitment to hard work, dedication, determination. Be it resolved that this Board of Education wishes its heartfelt congratulations to Coach Patricia Longo. And this is by the Committee of the Whole. You have to come over.
It's 30 years.
I only read them. We will fix that. But I believe we have something to make up for the typo. Vice President Wilbeck has a small token.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's quite an honor. This young lady is a champion amongst champions. She brings pride and honor to the school, to herself, her family, to the city of Bayonne, and it's with honor and distinction that we, the Board of Education, award her this token. Please.
Wow. Does it fit?
Come on.
Make sure it fits.
I can't get it out. Included in there.
If you want to see it, you're going to have to watch it on YouTube. That's how we draw you in.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, so you Ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot see it, it's a championship ring for a champion.
I would I'd just like to thank this Board of Education for all your time, dedication to the sport, to our boys' team, both to our girls' team. This administrative has been very supportive of me throughout the years here. I just started a few years ago, so it's been a fun journey, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm just not ready to go yet. When I'm ready, I'll go.
Good.
That's right. Thank you so much. Better than ever. Thank you.
Gary, are we going? Are we good?
Okay. No, that's it. We're going to adjourn to go back into a closed session, and then we'll return. But before I do that, I just want to let our students know, when we leave, you're welcome to all leave, go home, do your homework, get ready. School's almost over, it's almost there, you're done. But you don't have to stay the whole night with us, because I think it might be a long night. So at this time, I'd ask for a motion to, motion by trustee Villado, and a second.
I'll second.
Second by trustee Cruden. We're going to take a short recess. I'll take a vote on that. Trustee Alonso is inside. Trustee Cassius.
Yes.
Trustee Cruden.
Yes.
Trustee Finnerty.
Yes.
Trustee Munoz.
Sadly,
Trustee
yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Trustee Villardo.
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick is inside. It is 8:01. The board will return. I'd like to reconvene the public meeting. I will take a roll call, make sure we didn't lose anybody. Trustee Alonso. Trustee Cassius.
Here.
Trustee Cruden.
Here.
Trustee Finnerty.
Here.
Trustee Munoz.
Here.
Trustee Ryan.
Here.
Trustee Villado.
Here.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Here.
President Broderick.
Here.
It is 9:05. President Broderick would like to say a few words.
First, I'd just like for us to take a moment of silence for Major Augustin Augie Gonzalez and his two daughters, Noah and Gwen. They were in a terrible accident approximately a week ago. It's the son-in-law and two granddaughters for one of our guidance counselors, a great girl. I worked with her for many years, Nancy Walsh. Just want to tell you, when you go home tonight, hug your kids, kiss them, hug your husband or wife, all right? Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start with our consent agenda, starting with A, curriculum and instruction. These include resolutions A1 up into and including resolution A15. Do I have a motion?
Move.
And do I have a second?
Yes.
So I have a motion by trustee Villado. I have a second by trustee Cassius. On that motion and second, trustee Alonso?
Yes.
Trustee Cassius?
Yes.
Trustee Cruden?
Yes.
Trustee Finnerty?
Yes.
Trustee Munoz?
Yes.
Trustee Ryan?
Yes.
Trustee Villado?
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck?
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
Next up is our resolutions B, which is finance, resolutions B1 up into and including B19. Do I have a motion?
I motion.
Motion by trustee Ryan. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Alonso. On that motion and second, trustee Cassius?
Yes.
Trustee Cruden?
Yes.
Trustee Finnerty?
Yes.
Trustee Munoz?
Abstain.
Trustee Ryan?
Yes.
Trustee Villado?
Yes.
Trustee Alonso?
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck?
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
Next up is our resolutions For C, which is personnel, resolutions 1 through 53. Resolution C2, Resolution C46, and Resolution C53 will be moved to non-consent. So, personnel, do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Motion by Vice President Wilbeck, and second
I'll second.
by Trustee Finerty. So we have a motion and second on that agenda. Trustee Cruden,
Yes.
Trustee Finerty,
Yes.
Trustee Munoz,
Yes.
Trustee Ryan,
Yes.
Trustee Bellato,
Yes.
Trustee Alonso,
Yes.
Trustee Cassius.
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
Okay, that brings us to our non-consent. I will read them briefly. We'll start with Resolution C2, the Bayonne Board of Education, and all these resolutions are on our bulletin boards. Bayonne Board of Education has adopted and promoted the community education concept. So these are this resolution contains all our community ed positions. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Motion by Vice President Wilbeck, and a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Trustee Finerty. So motion and second, Trustee Finerty,
Yes.
Trustee Munoz,
Yes.
Trustee Ryan,
Abstain.
Trustee Bellato,
Yes.
Trustee Alonso,
Yes.
Trustee Cassius.
Yes.
Trustee Cruden,
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
Okay. Next up, Resolution C46, whereas the current contracts of named custodians are to expire. So this is our resolution for reappointing our custodians. Do I have a motion
I'll move.
and a second?
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second on the resolution. Trustee Ryan,
Yes.
Trustee Bellato,
Yes.
Trustee Alonso,
Yes.
Trustee Cassius,
I abstain.
Trustee Cruden,
Yes.
Trustee Finerty,
Yes.
Trustee Munoz.
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
Finally, Resolution C53, it's determined that staff is needed to undertake school district activities for summer programs. Do I have a motion
I'll move.
and a second?
I'll second.
So on that motion and second, Trustee Bellato,
Yes.
Trustee Alonso,
Yes.
Trustee Cassius.
Yes.
Trustee Cruden,
Yes.
Trustee Finerty,
Yes.
Trustee Munoz.
Yes.
Trustee Ryan,
Abstain.
Vice President Wilbeck.
Yes.
President Broderick.
Yes.
Okay, on our, the rest of our non-consent, Resolution D1 is being tabled. I will tell you further in a few minutes. Resolution D2, whereas it's been determined that the Bayonne Board of Education will not be able to fill the vacancy of the Superintendent of Schools by its July 1st, 2019 deadline. Whereas the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Michael A. Wanko, has recommended that the Bayonne Board of Education contact the New Jersey Association of School Administrators to obtain their list of individuals interested in obtaining positions for interim superintendent. Be it hereby resolved that the board president directs the school board secretary to contact the New Jersey Association of School Administrators to obtain the said list. Do I have a motion
I'll move.
and a second?
I'll second.
So I have a motion by Vice President Wilbeck and a second by Trustee Finerty. Trustee Alonso?
Yes.
Trustee Cassius?
No. I abstain.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's it. abstain.
Sorry.
You got it. Trustee Cruden?
Yes.
Trustee Finerty?
Abstain.
Trustee Munoz?
Sadly, yes.
Trustee Ryan?
Abstain.
Trustee Bellato?
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck,
Abstain.
and President Broderick.
Yes.
And my final resolution for the evening, whereas it is necessary for the Bayonne Board of Education to add an emergency board meeting date, whereas the Bayonne Board of Education will hold an emergency workshop and public meeting session to address the CSA search and the interim superintendent. It will be held on Monday, June 10th, 2019, with the workshop and public meeting starting at 5 p.m. In the Board of Education Anna J. Herbert Meeting Room, in which the public may participate and attend. Be it hereby resolved, closed sessions will be held after each session, and there's a list of items that we're able to take care of that night. A closed session may be called by the board to discuss matters exempt by law. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. So I have a motion by Vice President Wilbeck. I have a second by Trustee Munoz. Trustee Alonso?
Yes.
Trustee Cassius?
Yes.
Trustee Cruden?
Yes.
Trustee Finnerty?
Yes.
Trustee Munoz?
Yes.
Trustee Ryan?
Yes.
Trustee Bellato?
Yes.
Vice President Wilbeck?
Yes.
President Broderick?
Yes.
Okay, we do have a few questions from the audience. It is our open portion of the meeting. I remind everybody that you do have 3 minutes. This gentleman stayed for as long as he could, but he had to leave, but I promised him I would read his card. Mr. Peter Franco, I believe it's 127 West 12th Street, a parking pilot program. And what that is, and I have handouts for the trustee, is it seems in Jersey City teams up with the BOE to add more parking spots, and here's how. It's an article that was published in the Jersey Journal. I told him I would pass them out to the board, and possibly something the board might look into. Next up is, if they're still here, Francis Labugi, 37 Lord Avenue. They might have left. Okay. Melissa Godsky Rodriguez, 178 Avenue F. Hi.
Melissa Godsky, 178 Avenue F. So I'm going to start off with a few comments before I ask my question. So the Board of Education made a commitment to the city, to the kids, to our entire system to get this job done. This was one of the most important jobs that the Board of Education had. I've kind of been out of the loop because I've been dealing with my son's IEP season, so I'm a little lost. But what did we hire the firm to do? Can somebody answer that question?
Hire the firm?
We hired a consulting firm,
Correct.
I guess we paid X amount of thousands of dollars to $69,000, 59, 32, whatever, thousands of dollars, something I don't carry in my back pocket, to bring forward candidates for our school district, okay? And I don't have much information, but we are past the deadline, and we still don't have a foundation for these students in this community. We need a leader. And Dr. Wanko, I think, has done an amazing job, so thank you for what you have done. I don't know the whole story of Mr. Kobes, but thank you for stepping in and doing what you can do. I really appreciate that. We still don't have a foundation for our kids, so what did we hire them to do?
We hired this group to get candidates. They went out, they took surveys throughout the city, as you're probably aware, and they gave us a list of those candidates. And we've been breaking that list to a shorter group all the time, and we've been still meeting, and we're still in that process. I didn't know we had a deadline date. I didn't know that we ever set that.
I have the notes, and I think I could pull up the board meeting as to where there was a specific date set forward because of the interim and these other, technicalities. So we were supposed to have, there was like an April 15th date. I have them, I didn't come prepared specifically for the dates. I figured you all would have them.
Yeah.
But we still don't have a superintendent.
If we do, I apologize for that, but what I can tell you right now is we're still working on the process, and we're trying to come up with the best possible person we can, and we'll continue to do that.
What's stopping us from coming up with the best possible person?
I wouldn't be allowed to discuss that in public.
Okay, and then just as far as we've been in this process for 2+ years now, am I correct when I say that?
No.
No, so prior to this, when we said we made commitments to the city and the kids, I'm really talking about the city and the kids, you weren't really looking for a superintendent when we knew we were gonna need one at some point.
Well, what we had was we had an.
I'm just looking for clarification, President Roderick.
We had an interim, and Dr. Wanko, who you just said did a very good job.
He did.
And so the process was there, so we really didn't need to look for somebody. We had them for 2 years. And unfortunately, we were actually looking, at one point, we were actually looking for a third year. We thought that that would be a strong possibility. He's made many corrections in this district. He's made improvements. You know, he came through a very tough time. And we thought, you know, I guess we're getting a little greedy, and we were hoping for that. The state, unfortunately, came up with a different idea. When they came out, what happened was they found out that over 40%, I think it's approximately at least 40% of all the superintendents in the state are interim.
Correct,
They're
which
not,
is a bigger problem.
So what happened, they decided that these people are, for whatever reason, not paying into the process, whatever, they want to stop this, so they denied which made us speed things up a little bit. In defense of what we did, though, I think you could ask the group that we hired, HYA, who I thought did a very good job. I think we're on course with what we're doing right now. I don't think we're so far behind, or I don't think we're behind at all, actually. But could we have started a little earlier? Yes. But I was under the hope and impression that we were going to have possibly at that time Dr. Wanko for 1 more year.
So we knew that back, I know I only have about a minute left, right? Am I correct when I say that?
Yes.
Back when HYA was first hired, we had a meeting, we knew our set dates, we knew at this time. What's the current holdup right now, presently in this time? What is stopping us from choosing one of these candidates?
We're just still trying to find the best person.
So right now, the candidates that HYA put up were not the best candidates for the Bayonne
we're
School
still
District?
including the candidates they did.
Okay, so what happens to the money that we spent if we don't use them? Inevitably, I think they did a great job. Taxpayers' money was just kind of...
Our goal is to still come with somebody. We're just still working on it.
Okay, when you guys get that date, I hope you would share it with the public, because we'd like to see some accountability for due dates and deadlines.
Okay, that's,
Well-
that's actually why we put it next Monday.
You just saw me read off an emergency
We're hoping.
meeting resolution.
I understand, we had that before, though, I've heard
I'll
it
let
before.
you-
So I just want to thank you for your time, thank you for what Dr. Wanko did, and thank you for Mr. Kovacs for what you're doing and the rest of the Bayonne Board of Education, so thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Miss Michelle Halsey, 134 Humphrey Avenue.
Good evening. I usually try to write something to prepare so I don't fumble. I didn't get a chance to do that, so I apologize in advance if I do. Time and time again, I've sat here and I've seen issues with the disconnection of the board itself. From where I'm standing, I see no teamwork. Most of you want to be a team. I've said before, if you're not going to work together, then you should step away and let the people who are here for the right reasons and who do care do their job. This is the third time I've been up here saying it because of the same person. From what I'm reading in the paper, we all know why there's been no person that's right for superintendent. It's time to stop playing the power trip and the just trying to get out of the way. Most of you belong there. You're good people. You do what you do for our children. Unfortunately, we can't have Mr. Wanko, who's been incredible. He always has from the time I was in high school. He was a principal. It's a shame that we can't keep him. We have to find somebody else. From what I'm understanding is there's one problem with not finding somebody for superintendent, and that problem is the problem who's been the problem all along. And it's been a year now, and unfortunately, nothing could be done within a year because people need to learn their jobs. But the year is up, and it's time for a recall, and I'm going to be the person that starts that. Thank you. Have a good night.
Next up, Miss Linda Taylor, 185 West 25th Street.
On a different topic, C3 was already approved this evening, and unless something had been updated, and I double-checked up there, the head coach for the hockey team has not yet been assigned. And I don't know if you're planning on doing it, but again, total disservice to these kids. We have a huge group of kids now that just started hockey last year and the year before that were on the JV team this year. They actually won a couple games. They'd never skated before, never even played hockey before. And it is helping these kids to want to achieve academically. And I am sure you're sick of seeing my face, but I have one son leaving, but I still have a son here. This program is important. I don't think everyone thinks it's important. On that list, the hockey team is the only one that doesn't have the head coach assigned. They need to be training. I actually organized, along with another parent and some parents that are here, we have these kids playing together in a spring season. Supposedly, the high school coaches couldn't get involved due to state regulation, whatever. So we formed our own team of Bayonne kids, not the Bayonne Rangers that are Staten Island kids mostly, the Bayonne Whalers they're called. And they've played in a spring season. They have 2 more games left. They've actually started winning. These kids have a fire for hockey, which again goes to academics because education first. But you're doing a disservice. I don't know what all the behind-the-scenes stuff, I know there's still all that illegal garbage going on, but you're doing a disservice with these kids because you've got 3 assistant coaches, nobody's touching anything because everything's in limbo. They need to be already starting off-ice practices. Everybody on all the other teams are in the weight room, on the track. The assistant coaches are willing to do, but we need the head coach. And I just don't understand why the program was run into the ground for one reason. The reason's gone. We need to build this program back up, and we're not doing it. But all these other teams have everything in place. They already are in the weight rooms. We need to have something done. Is there going to be a decision made soon? Because it should have been made this evening. If you approved, I don't know how you approved a to be determined. Still looking.
Yeah.
When are we going to have, I mean, obviously superintendent is most important, but that's important too to these kids. I mean, we need to practice now. These kids are going to be finishing the season. In years past, always July, they were getting in the weight room. For those that cared, they were getting in the weight room. They were getting on the track. We do off-ice practice, and then it goes into August, and they're on ice. Coaches aren't allowed to be there, but they're on ice with the captains that have been chosen, and their, administrators are there and whatever. But there's no direction. And hands are tied of those that are there and willing, can't do a thing. So, this is not, what's going to happen, the rumor is you're going to wait till November. We already have been put down into a lower division because these kids are new to the game. And you're putting them, because right now, they're right there at the next level. These kids have improved so much in 10 games, and they're right there. We have a rink on our campus, but we haven't been allowed to practice once there. We pay to practice in Union where our league is.
All right, I promise we'll take a good look at that real quick, and hopefully maybe by that meeting Monday, we have even an answer.
right,
In the meantime,
thank
I'm going to talk to people behind me here as to, we have some assistant coaches in place. Why can't they start the programs like you're saying you would like to do? So at least get things moving. All
Well,
right.
that would be wonderful, but I just hope you really focus on getting a head coach in there, because it's just not fair
No, I understand
to one
your point.
team on this whole campus. One team gets treated like this, and it's been downhill for the last 2-3 years, and it needs to start going on the uphill.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Taylor. That is all the questions I have. Any comments from any of our members? If not, I will take a motion to adjourn. Motion by trustee Cruden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Velardo. So I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Trustee Alonso?
Yes.
Trustee Cassius?
Yes.
Trustee Cruden?
Yes.
Trustee Finerty?
Yes.
Trustee Munoz?
Yes.
Trustee Ryan?
Yes.
Trustee Bellato? Vice President Wilbeck?
Yes.
President Broderick?
Yes.
It is 9:28.